do this every week, so you shouldn't be surprised. Who's dying in the background? Like,
I'm sorry. It's my mom.
oh no! Is she sick?
No, Ben. Go and see if you've got a dying mum.
She's does this all the time. It's fine.
Now stand aside, worthy adversary.
'Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
Get well soon, Ben's mom. All right, so we're back. Good news is no naked scene, so Ben's fine. Thankfully. Woo. Shut Up Tom woke up as well, so happy days. There we go. Look at him. Fuck you too. And then we have, of course, we have Iain with us because he's always here.
Hi, I'm always here.
There you go. And I'm always here as well. I'm Lily K. Welcome back, me. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. Something is. Look, today I cried 3 times on 3 different things. So it's a very hard day for me emotionally. I feel like I'm going to lose my breath, you know?
Yeah.
So
emotionally drained is our Lily.
I am very emotionally drained. So anyway, it is that time of the week again to start talking about Agatha All Along. We are near the end. And quite frankly, we got to, I think, easily one of the best episodes, maybe? I know I said that last time as well, but I feel like this series is finally hitting me the right way. So I think it's fair to say that it's well done, Marvel. I'm proud of you. We're going to talk about our spoiler-free thoughts on the episode, so you are all safe now if you haven't seen it yet. So let's start with Tom, because he just woke up and I want to hear.
Snorlax, a sleeping Pokemon. Snorlax wakes only to eat.
It doesn't sound too hungry.
I thought it was solid. I agree that it's probably like the best episode in terms of like writing and everything like that. It did take me a bit to get this to wrap my head around like how they were structuring it because it bounced around a lot. But once I kind of figured out what they were doing, I'm like, oh, yeah, this is good. And I enjoyed it for what it was.
This was the best episode of the series by far. Everything was well structured and all the other episodes led up to it. Everything was brilliant. I have no complaints. This was probably the big writers' moment that they wanted to have before Marvel made them do all of the plot relevant stuff next week. And it was beautiful and I loved it. Also, Squid Games continues. Because everyone's dying one at a time.
Spoilers, Ben. Spoilers, Ben.
What? It's been 2 years.
Iain, what did you think?
Fuck yes, this episode is what I've been waiting for. Everything makes sense. This is how you write a TV series. Everything up until this point has become relevant in this one episode, and it's just excellent, and it gets to me emotionally when things are done this well. So I fucking love this episode and I want to talk about it more.
And we will.
Hey, in your pants, calm down.
Yeah, for me it felt like it was definitely my pace. So it was like this is what I need from a TV show, and especially from an episode that reveals a ton of things, which it did on an S-class level, if I can put it that way. So yeah, I really, really, really enjoy. If I said that the previous episode was my favorite, I take that back. That's like, no, I don't take it back. That's also my favorite, but this one is just how you do it. Like,
2 favorites now. It's all
2
good.
favorites now. Yeah, yeah. I think this is the kind of TV show that I don't think it was ever a slow burner, but it kind of feels like that when you get 2 back-to-back episodes like this, where you just, you reveal stuff, but it doesn't feel forced. It feels like just very well planned out storytelling, and I am very proud of them. I'm not gonna lie. So we're gonna jump to the spoiler thoughts, which means that if you haven't seen this episode yet, well, sucks for you. Go and watch it, and then come back and watch us because we are fun. And Tom will be awake by the end. I promise.
Fucked.
Okay.
I'm gonna take everything back because Tom is so nice. He went to see Stray Kids, which is also one of my favorite bands, and I got to see almost everything that he saw. I was updated on things, and I got an entire drive folder with recordings. So I am very grateful. I'm not gonna suck your blood today, Tom. You don't deserve that. You deserve all the love.
Congratulations, Tom. And that you've turned this around
Yeah.
with one comment. You've got a long way to go. You've got a long way to go in this episode, but for now you are safe.
No, but he's right. Like,
Yeah,
I can be an asshole, and he was so nice to me. So I'm like, I take it back. All right, spoiler thoughts. Transition. Here we go. Spoilers ahead. Obviously.
So one time I'm just going to put Zoidberg over right after you doing that.
It was such a good episode. We said that already, but I have to say it again. And I don't even know where to start, and that's fits the whole thing, to be fair, because it is all out of order. And it still makes sense by the end, which is how you do it. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna do the same old thing of just like going point by point. I think I will just open this conversation and let's just get into it. Obviously, bless you, Tom. There are some main points that we must talk about, but first of all, with spoilers now, let's talk in general of your thoughts, what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, and we're gonna start with Iain today.
I really love this episode, so I want to put my only negative forward first. My only negative forward first is the Salem Seven going out like bitches, absolute bitches. They were absolutely almost useless in this episode, and not only that, they didn't even avoid their own fucking deaths because some of them can fly in their animal form, and they didn't think of changing whilst they were falling. So they're absolute bitches. They deserve to die, but they had so much promise.
I'm gonna stop you there before you go ahead and talk about anything else. I don't think I agree. I think it just proved how badass Lilia was because, she realized it so quickly what she must do because of the whole, out of order thing. I was falling and whatnot, and I'm like, I actually really enjoyed it because it was a smart way to get rid of them, and it's not all of them, by the way. Like
It was.
no, it wasn't all of them.
It was. I counted.
No, I counted when they fell on the swords. I had 5 squishies.
I had
five
6
sheen.
squishies, but I saw 7 fall.
Upright.
I had
Not-
6. I
Okay.
didn't count the squishies, but I did count the fall.
Count the squishies.
But yeah, I don't.
Well, I mean, the joke is that they fell on their own sword. Like, they were so busy going after Agatha, they didn't even think that Lilia could be a problem.
Or that they are on the Witch's Road.
With Iain, like, they kind of just like they introduced like, oh, they're these really big evil people. They're so hard to kill, and then when they just kind of go out like that, it does kind of feel a bit anticlimactic.
I think
Like,
that's
even
why
if
I don't see it that way, because I don't think they were introduced as the biggest problem of the show. Like,
not that they were the biggest problem, but they were introduced as like sort of like this maybe like unstoppable force. It's like we can't fight them, we have to run away from them. And then like sort of now they don't. There's no like fight. It's just sort of like whilst it did well for Lilia's story and to the story of this episode as a whole, I think if you look at like their impact on the show, it was just sort of like, well, why are you even here? If you're just gonna show up, be like, oh, we're gonna be spooky ghost people. Oh no, we're dead. Uppy days.
They
It's like,
turned up to chase people down a hole a couple of times.
they were fodder.
Yeah.
From my point of view, Lilia's entire life has led up specifically to this moment. So if it was like that much magic being thrown around just so she could get this one outcome that she wanted right in this trial, which is what the Witch's Road keeps doing, it keeps giving people what they want in their trial, even if they die. So I feel like, Lilia got what she wanted because the road was basically helping her. And I think that would make sense. Like, I don't think they've gone out like fodder. I think it's been organized in this way since they entered.
I agree. I think they were like, I didn't mind their dad because they were literally outsmarted. They told that they were this, like, obviously, this is, and it's good that they are like, the other Salem Seven, done. End of story. That's all you know about them. And that they look creepy and they can turn into animals and whatnot. And that's it. And obviously, their only goal is to kill Agatha. And that's it. Done. And therefore, they weren't careful enough. They thought that, it's easy peasy, we're just going to walk in, probably. Yeah. And then they were outsmarted by one witch.
But looking at what Lilia basically wanted, like, she was upset because somehow she failed her first coven. Like, she was like, oh, I didn't want to do this again. Yeah. Because something she did there just didn't work out. And I think that the biggest regret she had was that she couldn't be there for her coven and help them when she needed to. And this time she has managed to do that. So I think her wish was fulfilled too. I think the Witch's Road does fulfill your wishes completely. But once your wish is complete, I think the road just kills you.
Bored now.
I don't know. I agree with everything that everyone said. That it is a bitch ass moment for Lilia in a good way. Like it's their sacrificial moment. It was really powerful and emotional. I just think that the Salem Seven were set up as scary dudes trying to get everybody. And I know they weren't in every episode, but they were the main antagonist in episode 2, and it forced them into the Witch's Road because that's who was coming to get them. And then at every point that they've turned up, everyone's shit scared of them, which is great. And then when they go out by falling, when at least 2 of them could fly in their animal form, and then 3 of the others were small enough to just avoid all the swords when they hit the ground in their animal form. Just seemed a bit. The one plot hole that is in this whole episode is that for me.
Yeah, but don't forget that we watched it in slow motion, but in real time that was like a few seconds. And even if you're a witch, you probably can't think that fast. Like, oh, actually I can fly, I can just turn into this.
Not quite a bird, not quite a person. Maybe what matters is to love yourself first and soar.
Or, in my, and this is obviously nitpicking at the whole concept of it all. Yeah. But for me, I just don't think it was, I think it was, we outsmarted them. They don't matter because obviously they are not the main point here. They're just a moving force that helped the protagonist move ahead and make their business more urgent than it was without them. Tom, you can complain if you want.
No, I don't.
That was a nice way of saying it.
No, because
let's get the negativity out of the way. There you go.
No, I don't. It's not that I have anything specifically to complain about besides the Salem Seven, like Iain.
Yes,
this is just as a general thing about this entire series. I just don't think it's my vibe. Not saying it's bad, not saying it's like whatever, but watching it, I haven't had as big of a emotional reaction as you guys. Like, I've watched these things and I've just gone, that's good. And then I've kind of written notes down and then I've moved on. I haven't really thought about it after the fact. Again, Not saying it's bad. I just think at this point I can decide it's probably not my vibe.
Mhm.
It's just what it is. Maybe I'm not a big fan of witchy stuff. I guess that.
Maybe.
However, I did like, and to give us a starting point,
Yes.
Agatha and Billy's talk when they were walking to the next trial. I thought that was fun because I like how now that they're both sort of know who they are, sort of. It's just like there's no sort of bullshitting. It's just sort of just like banter back and forth, and I'm liking that. Also, the fact that Billy doesn't consider Wanda his mum, kind of fun.
I don't know if I believe him.
Billy doesn't know if he's Billy or William. I think he wants the mother who was with him the last 3 years to be his mom, but again, Billy just seems really confused about a lot of things. Billy, William, William.
I feel like this might be like the one of the things he's certain on because the quickness of his response to that. Because like she was like, "Oh, what about your dear mom?" And he's like, "I've got my mom. She's not my mom." Like if like he might be confused about a lot of things, but I feel like that thing he's certain. Like no, mum is mum, Wanda is Wanda.
Yeah. I was immediately like, Billy? Bitch slap. How could you say that? How could you say that? I was very angry. But my favorite part about that entire conversation is what I said as well, and what Billy said. I started to think that you've never even been on the witch's road before.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
bitch, that's what I've been saying. I don't think Agatha was ever on the witch's road, and her reaction is kind of confirming that. So
she didn't refute it either, like
Nope.
with words at this time. I know she has done in the past, but she didn't refute it.
I think Agatha was on the Witch's Road,
Mm-mm.
but I don't think she finished it. I think she wussed out and then just told everyone she'd finished it.
That is interesting because we did see in this episode an exit of from the Witch's Road.
Was it an exit, or
Well,
was it just
looked
an
like
illusion?
It looked like one.
What was the exit exactly?
The subway station.
See,
when they were in the bottom.
I had another theory about that one, and you're gonna
Here's
gonna
another
be like,
crackpot
oh
theory
no,
from Ben.
here's another crackpot theory, yes. But in Age of Ultron, a subway was the last thing that Wanda was on before she saw her brother. So that could have been a trial for Wanda if she's in Agatha's head, like I keep saying.
Wasn't it a tram?
She's not.
But first thing I thought when I saw that subway was like, whose trial is that?
Because all the trials are houses.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
it wouldn't be a trial in it. It'd just be like a funky, like, here, go down this way and you can maybe get out, or maybe we kill you because you're being a bitch.
Maybe.
I think it was just an illusion to mislead them, basically.
I don't know. The only thing that really went with subway stations for me was that bit in Age of Ultron. So I was thinking, well, if that may be a Wanda trial, if she's in her head, I don't know.
I vehemently disagree with you that Wanda is in Agatha's head.
We will see next week.
We shall.
It'll be the easiest $10 I've ever made.
Yeah. Well,
Wait, did you bet on it?
They did.
Yeah.
So I'm so confident.
God.
I'm so confident that because again, you have to be dead for a witch to go into your head, and Agatha didn't die.
Wanda did die though.
But Agatha did
Actually, did she?
No.
Because that's the other thing in this bants as well. That Billy asked, "Is Wanda dead?" And she was like, "Yeah,
no, maybe."
And this is the first time that happened.
Yeah, because she doesn't know. She doesn't know. Did you see a body? Yes, she's being truthful. She saw a body.
Or maybe
It may have been illusion, but she doesn't have a clue.
Or maybe it's because she's in her head and she doesn't know for sure.
Oh, come on, Ben, shush.
Sir, shut him up or shut him down.
It wouldn't work.
You said it in such a nice way. I still think that Wanda is somehow involved, or we, if nothing else, we get more references about Wanda, hopefully. The other thing is that I still don't think that after the insane amount of success that Elizabeth Olsen has in the role, they just gonna fucking kill her off in Doctor Strange and just leave it at that and be like, yeah, the Scarlet Witch is dead, done, Elizabeth Olsen is never coming back. So that's more like you know, I don't think that they're gonna kill one of their biggest players, especially when Elizabeth Olsen keeps saying that she's happy to come back and do it again. I'm starting to lean more towards like it's more about that. Like maybe at the end they're gonna confirm that, oh, actually Wanda is very much alive somehow, whatever. So yeah, I no longer fully think either that it's going to be her behind it all. It's more like well, it's Billy, obviously. So I think one way or another we will get another connection to her.
Well, my whole theory is based on one line in WandaVision, which is where she goes, "I'll leave you here till I have use of you."
But we'll see.
I'm not going to say no more.
Next week.
I'm so skeptical, and it's untrue. But I'm so skeptical. But let's see. We've got 1 week left to wrap it up, and I'd be hella surprised if you're right. But fair play if you are. You know.
I'm gonna stop talking about this now.
Okay.
Tom's dying inside.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it on his face. It's like he's gonna become a maniac at the end of this.
Hey, Paul!
But anyway, all right, Tom, and any other negativity to get out of the way, or any other things that you specifically want to mention?
I really liked with the gaps in Lilia's memory and how she was bouncing around. To me, it sort of like felt like sort of like an allegory for like dementia or something like that, or like Alzheimer's, where it's like she would like say things but then forget, and then just like sort of be frustrated that she doesn't remember, even though like it is just because she's bouncing around. You know, if you look at it from a certain perspective, it's sort of like she's aging, she's having these issues where it's just like you just can't remember. And I kind of liked how they did that, because I thought it was neat to kind of go that route and link it back into the whole, you know, she's just bouncing around, whatever. But one thing I didn't like, and this is just because I hate the Wizard of Oz with a passion.
How dare you? How dare you?
Agatha's look in this current trial, I fucking hated it.
She was based on her, you know.
Well,
yeah, fucking great. Still don't like it.
Tom. Steph is going to take a look at this and just like put loads of stuff in like on your pictures every time. Like, you know, Steph is like a massive Wizard of Oz fan, and you just shit all over her. Congratulations.
Making enemies every day.
I do need to ask though. I knew what 3 of them were, but who was Lilia supposed to be?
Glinda,
the good witch of the East.
but it's also like so on team because obviously Wicked is coming out soon. So I was like, I see what you did there.
Yeah, what I saw as well that they've been teasing Agatha's costume since since day one, because it's been in the credits since day one next to her name. Like they showed her image basically since this first episode, and they've also used the crone from Snow White as well in the credits, not against Jen, but because she's not been in every episode, but they've used that as well.
I thought she was Mother Gothel.
No.
Oh,
I think she was the crone from Snow White.
She was the evil queen. Yeah. From
right.
Snow White. Oh yeah, that's like typically the evil queen look.
Yeah,
she goes with the apple, like.
I know that Teen was Maleficent.
Yes, Teen was.
But that was very obvious. Like, especially the cheekbones. I really appreciated the comment there, because obviously they made these huge cheekbones for Angelina in the role, and I was like, yeah.
Best joke of the episode, calling him teenager. He's like, oh, they used his full name.
Oh, that was fucking hilarious. To be fair, I love that.
Yes. All right, Ben. Any very important thoughts that you need to share? Any negativity at all?
Oh, me negative about this episode? Oh, geez. No, not really. Actually, I like this episode from start to finish. Like, I love that they implied that she was a Spanish princess, and that's why she was in a castle in this episode. Like, yeah, she was
like.
No,
I thought it was just like like she was in that time, and that's just how they dressed. Like,
yeah.
Well, I like a Romany gypsy.
Nobles.
It was a gypsy thing.
Really? Because I thought she was more like a Spanish princess. No.
Mhm.
Oh.
Tarot reading is typically with the gypsies and Romanians. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, very much
Hmm.
gypsy. Isn't gypsy a slur?
is it? We use it
I
every
thought so.
day in Hungary.
Fair enough then.
And maybe
I'm
in
sorry if it
certain-
is. Sorry. I'm
maybe in
not,
certain locations, but no, it's yeah.
but in Hungarian, it's literally how they are called, and they call
I-
themselves that as well. So I'm like,
I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that.
I just remember seeing the same sort of outfits that she had on and with Spanish royalty in general things. I honestly just made that connection. I guess it wasn't.
that's it. That's it. That should.
Uh,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm still thinking about Venom.
Okay.
But that's to be fair, that's because I watched that very recently, so it's still playing back in my mind, and I'm like, Agatha, yes, we're talking about Agatha, not Venom, not Venom, Agatha.
No, it's really difficult for me to find any negatives with this episode. Like, absolutely, I think this was the best episode of the show.
I've been struggling to watch a lot of things lately. Again, unfortunately, it looks like this year is about that for me. That I have these longer periods of times where I'm like, I can't watch anything. I can't get any interest in anything. I get bored very easily and whatnot. And this was like, this reminded me of I like filmmaking and TV and movies and whatnot, because it was so smartly put together and it was so different from everything that you see nowadays, especially with them really just leaning into the whole like we're witches and it's a witchy thing, and it should be very strange and very weird and whatnot, and I really enjoyed that. I was confused at the beginning, and then slowly as the pieces started to fall into their places, I was like, oh, this is how you do it. This is like proper good storytelling. And hats off, because Lilia was fucking awesome. Like, I didn't think much of her from the beginning. I was like, oh, she's the weirdo. It's fine. I'm whatever. She was the kind of like whatever character for me.
It was like what's her name?
Yeah, exactly. And by the end, I was like, fuck, I was crying. It's always a big sign when something is good that I start crying. Just saying. I get very easily emotional when they do it right. And I was like, yeah.
I found her death incredibly meaningful in this episode.
Exactly. Not like
Alice.
Yeah, that's my problem, because Alice didn't really feel that, meaningful,
fulfilled the
I guess.
purpose for Lilia, though.
Alice got Shang Tsung'd, unfortunately, and that was it.
Your soul is mine.
I will Google that word later.
Shang Tsung,
Mortal
he sucks the souls out of people to kill them.
But yeah, it was just beautifully done from start to finish. I really like that we got more time with Jen as well through Lilia, and how she seemed more understanding and more caring finally. Because honestly, at some points she was just acting like a bitch.
Yep.
Let's be
I
fair.
mean, I feel like she just doesn't like Agatha at all. I think with
Which is
Lilia,
fair.
she was all right with her because, she sees her as like not really much of a threat. She's old. She's clearly having some sort of mental episode. It might stoke some of her protective fires in her. But with Agatha, she's like, no, I don't like this. I want this away from me.
One thing that I thought was kind of funny and a bit stupid, when they were in the underground place, whatever, like when they had first came there, and then they were all talking like, oh, it's the Seven, and they just run behind a box and hide. It's like, how the fuck do these super powerful, witchy, evil people not notice, hey, there's two people just sticking their heads out of a box looking at us?
Yeah, they're not looking for them, though. They're looking for Agatha.
Yeah, but still, it was just, I'm just like,
Because-
dude,
by the end, it's gonna turn out that this was all a video game that Wanda was playing at home.
just chilling Wanda Gorge, like, man, I love this game.
yeah, and that's it. That's how it's gonna end. Just Wanda being like, yeah, that was a good game. Done.
Salem 7 just have someone called Snake and then just under a box going, Snake, have you found Agatha yet? None of these.
Snake!
Solid.
Snake!
Snake!
Snake, are you okay? Snake? Snake!
Well, they're all animals, aren't
I
they?
know.
Snakes can be witchy.
I just want to I just want to blow my own trumpet now.
Yes, Ian,
Thank you
yes.
very much. Like I have been saying since maybe the second episode that Lilia's little quirks have been leading up to a point of payoff where they will mean something to a future conversation, and it happened so fucking well in this episode.
Vindication!
I didn't expect it to fit together this well. Like when the Kooky Wispy into Kooky or Wispy, and then Alice don't try to save Agatha. I didn't understand. I didn't realize how well it was going to fit together as a jigsaw. Do you know what I mean?
It was trippy seeing it all like sort of like go together, how they like went between each.
Yeah.
That's one thing I did like, how they executed that specifically. I thought that was neat. It'd be cool to see it again happen, but like, you know, she's dead now, so I can't really do that.
The timeline was very timey-wimey.
There's no such thing as time, really. That's what we learned.
As we've learned from The Good Place, it's Jeremy Bearimy, and you know.
Sorry, my brain is melting. How can events happen before the ones that happened before?
Just the way it works. It's Jeremy Bearimy. I don't know what to tell you. That's the easiest way to describe it.
Yeah, but let's talk about the other big reveal that was very much spoiled for Ian. Evidently.
Ben.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about Funkos anymore, though.
That's true.
That's true. That's gone out of the way. But yes, Rio is that herself. And I will first and foremost say hats off, because the costume and the makeup and everything, brilliant.
Excellent.
Well done. It was just a glimpse and it didn't last for more than like 5 seconds, but I was like, thank God, that looks awesome. That's how I would imagine that for the first time appearing in the Marvel universe. And I once again, I will say that she fits here perfectly. So yeah, well done. But
do you know what
hold on, because I
Okay,
want
sorry.
to ask Tom first. What did you think? Because you were the only one who didn't know.
I thought it was cool. She looked creepy as fuck. When she showed up and heard the voice and I saw the face, I'm like, oh, who's that in the death? I'm like, oh, and I thought about everything previously. I'm like, oh, kind of checks out. Like, you know, especially like with the Ouija board and death and laugh. I'm like, oh, fair enough. Yeah, I just thought it was cool. She looked creepy. I was surprised, but like again, because I don't like jack shit about comic Marvel and these. So I was like, oh, I guess we got death now. Sick, bro.
I will tell you a very fun trivia, because you didn't read the comics. Death is together with Thanos in the comics for a very long time.
Random.
Court death is in the original Avengers. That was the post-credit scene, wasn't it? I can't remember his name, but it was done by the guy who played Wesley in Angel. He asked about courting death to Thanos, and he does a little smile behind him. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like no, it's in the comics. Thanos wipes out 50% of the universe to impress Lady Death. And then once he gets the Infinity Gauntlet, she basically goes, well, you're too powerful for me now because I can never have you, so I'm not going to bother with you anymore. Yeah. And then he starts having like freak outs and starts trying to do more big, grander gestures to get her attention, but she doesn't want to know.
It's fun. It's a fun storyline.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyone else can talk about that. Now we know what Tom thought, so it's all good. Yeah.
I liked that Billy's question to Agatha was where the fuck's Rio, and she went, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it, mate.
Don't worry. We don't need her. We don't want her.
It's fine, you know. But yeah, it was a good reveal, especially it was not because it was on the last card of Lilia's tarot reading, and we all knew it was ending towards the death because she'd already said, it's coming to the end of
Yeah.
me towards the end. And yeah, it was a really good reveal. I'm still not sure I would have put it together, even though I do know the character, even though I don't know the comics. Without until this episode, I don't think I would have put it together without Ben spoiling it for me. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
Hey,
just right in the middle.
I just led a very unfortunately big breadcrumb trail.
Yes, you did. It was the whole bread. It was the loaf.
Why'd you have to leave the bread there for him?
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought it was just crumbs.
Anyway, let's move on and talk about Lilia's
trial?
Sacrifice and the trial itself, which is like very heavily connected to her, obviously.
Yeah.
First of all, what did we think of Billy and Lilia? Because I think Agatha and Billy being just awful at it is kind of makes sense. I was like, yeah, checks out. You guys are just gonna kill yourself and each other if you keep doing this. But what did we think when Lilia showed up and started questioning Billy at first?
I thought it was interesting, and I feel like it's constantly like sort of giving shape to like what Billy actually wants. Because whilst his question was, am I William or am I Billy? Like that's like sort of like the surface level. Like he wants to first figure that out. But then like does he want that, or does he just want to find his brother, brother Tommy? Does he want to find Wanda? It's like they didn't finish the read, so we don't know exactly the full thing. But I did find that interesting that like even really Billy doesn't know what he fully wants. Like he says he wants to find Tommy, but then he says he wants to know who he is. But like, does he really want to find Wanda and Vision? Does he just want to go back to normal? It's just like, I think there's a lot there to unpack, and that is interesting.
The thing that I paid attention to said there was going to be a reunion. So
doesn't say what reunion.
Doesn't say what. It could very easily be Tommy, but it could be something else.
It could.
We don't know.
I also think it's. I mean, yeah, the card looks like Wiccan. The magician looks like Wiccan, but we also know that William had loads of magician shit in his house and dressed up as Doctor Strange. So I think that card is up for interpretation.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, maybe Doctor Strange is gonna show up at the end.
I hope not.
You can never
I
know.
want it to happen just to piss you off now.
I go for all the saying, yeah, there's going to be this big cameo at the end, and then it's just that guy instead. I was like, oh, god damn it.
No, it's going to be the other guy, Chiwetel Ejiofor. What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
Baron
Mordo?
Mordo.
Mordo. It's no more sorcerers.
Right.
That's all he says. He just rocks up and is like, no more sorcerers.
And then like
Done.
Yeah.
That's all. It's the only line now in every single Marvel thing. It's just he walks in and Ren approaches going, no more sorcerers, takes something, walks away.
Too many sorcerers.
Or best case scenario, it's gonna be Wong.
Could be Cleo.
I like the Mordo idea. That's funny.
Yeah. Mordo just showing up just to be annoyed and then walks off.
Fuck you, witches! I'm killing you all. You just got to the end of the road, and I'm gonna kill you all because you don't deserve to exist.
just like, did you notice there was 8 Salem Sevens? It was I all along.
What the fuck? Oh god.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway, let's talk about the real person who needed the tarot reading. That was Lilia. And this is where everything got revealed. The weird things she said and whatnot. This sequence is honestly, I would teach it at film school, like how you should do this. It was so fantastically well done. And it literally, everything built towards this when it came to her. So I just want to say hats off to the creators, to the writers, because yeah, this is how you do it. This is how you build up your episode and your show. But since Iain is like nodding so heavily, we're gonna ask him, what did you think, Iain?
What did you think, Iain? You must tell us what you think.
What a fucking sequence this is. They put so much effort into making scenes in previous episodes look like the cards that it was just fucking excellent. There's no other words to it. You take the Queen of Cups, you take the Queen of Cups, Lilia, you take the Three of Swords, you take the Agatha from standing over Billy.
Yeah.
Like Alice taking the power, being the knight. It was just fucking excellent, and the commentary that Lilia was putting to it, where she was talking about like needing a family and losing people that she loved in Alice, and heartbreak and what going forwards, and building stuff up because she's been missing that coven for so long. I mean, that's the point where I didn't tip over when Lilia fell and died. I was tipping over during that commentary and how that whole sequence was shot.
Oh, I'm not crying. No.
It was fucking awesome.
Fully agreed. Anyone else wants to say anything?
I think that the end bit where it was like chronologically in her mind, she's just seen death, and then she pulls the death card out of the pack, and it kind of looks like the card is completely black, like differently like arranged to the rest of the cards. Like, oh yeah, okay, somebody put some real effort into this one, or that card wasn't there originally and the road flipping conjured it just because she's just decided, yeah, this is where my journey ends because I've just seen death and I know it's time.
I thought she only blinked into the death scene when she pulled the card.
Yeah.
The road is Trixie. It's a Trixie little hobbit.
But the pacing of this whole scene, everything going forward, everybody suddenly realizing what's going on, Lilia accepting that this is what's going to have to happen, and then sending them all off. Even the part where she says to Jen, saying, "You're the way forward." It's like, well, wait a minute. She's basically just said, seen more in that tarot reading for them while she was doing her own thing, and then just gone, yeah, but this is where I end. So it's your turn to carry this forward. Like
it's them all that left, basically.
Yeah. She even had that, and then she knew and basically reversed her own disaster. Like, disaster reversed was to say that basically the trial was done, and then disaster made upright was to reactivate the trial. And she knew how to do that. And it was just brilliant. And then she killed everyone in the room, including herself. Like, I was kind of hoping that she'd be able to like arrange her body like around the sword so that she doesn't get pierced by any of them. But no.
I should look like this. Just like
yeah, just
like Tom and Jerry in it, basically. I don't hope that. I want her death to mean something here. Yeah. I don't want to see her again.
They're not going to come back. I'm 100% sure. None of them will.
There is one loose thread which I'll talk about when Tom's finished.
Yes, Tom.
I have a question. So she saw death at the start when they first fell under all the mud. Did Rhea just be like, "Sup, I'm death here," and then just fuck off? Like, was that just like she was just like, "I reveal I'm death, bye"? Like, I'm just thinking because like,
I think for me it was more like a
was it just like a vision,
or maybe just a vision, or maybe the other possibility I can imagine is that obviously she's dead. She knows that she's gonna take Lilia next, so she shows herself to her before disappearing. But otherwise, she's just following them on the path.
Yeah, she first showed up to collect Mrs. Hart. She followed them knowing that Alice would be next. Once Alice was gone, she disappeared for a while and turned back up when it was Lilia's time. She'll probably appear again when it's time for somebody else. Not saying any names. Jen.
I don't know if I agree that Jen's going to die, now.
I don't think Jen is going to die.
as the high
think-
priestess on the card. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Agatha's dead. I think she's
I
gonna
think
die.
so too. Yeah, I think Agatha is gonna die. I said that before, and I still think that's gonna be true.
I don't believe Agatha will die. I don't.
She's basically not a main character in her own story, so yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, because what does she do after this series? Like, what's her point? Like, does she just go back to being evil witchy girl, going around and it's
she gets possessed by Wanda for the Scarlet Witch movie.
They can't let her off the road.
Shut up.
They can't let her off the road.
No.
I think she might have a spot to play in, like, maybe reviving Wanda, but I don't think she's going to be possessed by Wanda because that's not how they set up how possession works.
Yeah.
It just did it with Billy and William, didn't they?
Because William died as Billy's soul left. So William was an empty vessel. There was no one home. And then Billy, like a couple seconds after, Billy like, ooh, free home.
Yes.
It was a couple of seconds after.
Yes.
But with Wanda, if we're going off the assumption that she died at Wondagore, then Agatha was still alive. She could not go into that because Agatha, it was all full.
Yeah.
So, and because under my assumption, it has to be that right moment. So Wanda could be floating around. She could be controlling everything, but she's not in Agatha's head because it just, in terms of what they set up, it would not work.
No.
Billy can claim squatters' rights in William's house because it's empty. Wanda can't claim squatters' rights in Agatha's head because it's not empty.
What about the locket?
What about the locket? I don't know.
The locket around her neck. It's
Not
got
the-
hair in it. It's not nickel scratches. It's Wanda's.
It's
Why
not.
would it be
No,
Wanda's?
it's not going to be Wanda's.
It's not going to be Wanda's.
Never, not in a million years. Absolutely not. No way, Jose. No chance, Lance. And yet, negatory. Nah.
I believe that William is still alive and him and Billy are cohabiting and Agatha's brain's just too strong and Wanda's just sitting in the corner being like, I'm just tagging along here.
William fucking died in that accident.
The
Done.
heartbeat stopped.
The heartbeat stopped. It was very clear that he was like,
And
done.
then Billy
Gunners.
resuscitated him with magic.
The hand,
No.
the palm line is cut in two. It's not parallel.
Yes.
Two different souls.
Two different souls.
Two different
Yes.
lifelines. The one loose thread that I have, and I
Yes.
don't know why they even put it on here, was Lilia finding a book and putting it in her cardigan just before they enter the trial.
No, that was
the
Billy's
teens-
book.
Yeah.
Teen's notebook
Yeah,
with all the
she gives
spells.
it
The
back to
notebook.
him.
Did she give
Yeah.
it back to him?
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. At the very end, when they're going to the door, she
Yeah.
told
There it
Agatha
is.
when she calls you a coward, hit the deck. Then Billy came through. Here's the book. It's like, where'd you find it? Magic. Oh,
Yeah.
and then Jen. And
That's it.
I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
Mhm.
Well,
You
man,
weren't
these threads
paying
gone then.
attention.
The road wants him to have that book, so he has it.
Mm.
Going to be interesting to see how that works.
Well, let's go and read this episode then. Transition. Ian, how would you rate this episode? Please tell us.
I think I am going to give this a 10 out of fucking 10, guys. A 10 out of 10. Anything that can make me a little bit emotional, anything that can make me a little bit drained, gets a fucking 10 from me. This was so well shot, and it's one of those episodes that retroactively makes other episodes better because you know why those scenes are planted there. And this was just, I mean, I could say perfection, but I do have that little drawback of the Salem 7, but it doesn't take away from how this episode affected me. And for that reason, it's a 10.
The kids, what they say now, Paul? What they call what I do? They call this cinema.
Ben, how would you rate this episode?
It's also a 10 for me. It was so good. Everything was shot well. Good. Everything in the entire series was leading up to it. It made a minor character who I thought would just be forgettable, completely memorable. Everything built up so beautifully. The costumes continue to be amazing. Like all of it was just it was like everything I would have hoped for this series, and I just can't think of anything negative for it. So yeah, 10 out of 10.
I'm gonna be the Debbie Downer. I'd give it an 8. But I think that's again what I said release boys before, where I just didn't have as much of a visceral reaction as you guys. Like I'm not going, damn, like this is like giga brain amazing. Still think it's really good. I still think it's the best episode by far. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of personal preference at this point, where I just not vibing with the overall thing. But it's still very good. Still probably the best episode so far. Curious to see how they're going to wrap everything up in 2 more episodes, especially because this one was also only 36. So like, are the next 2 going to be longer, or the next 2 going to be like shorter? Like,
we'll see.
I do think that I hope that they're now done with the trial like format, because I'm also kind of over it. Of like walk on road, get to new house, trial, walk on road. Like
there's only Jen left, so
no,
Jen's had her trial.
Jen's had a trial. There's only teens left.
Yeah, there's teens trial.
Oh yeah,
left.
That's true.
That's
yeah,
it.
I'm almost I think I'm a bit over that. So, but who knows? We'll see how it goes next week. But 8 out of 10.
I think you just don't like witchy things.
Probably.
Yeah. I think so.
And that's okay. We're allowed to like different things.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But I think that's what I'm taking away from this. That you it's not for you.
Yeah. Still good though. Still good.
Good. Yes. Yes. 10. I cried, so it's automatically a 10. I'm very easy to please. No, I'm joking. No, it really was a very good episode. Very well thought out. The writing was excellent. The acting was excellent as well, because I don't think we mentioned that enough. And everything just worked perfectly in it. And yeah, I am very glad that even though I was starting to have a tiny bit of doubts about Marvel, then they drop something like this, and I'm like, yeah, we're good.
Second, Patti LuPone, fucking awesome in this episode.
Yes, 100% agree. So yeah, that was us talking about Agatha All Along, the new episode. And we're going to be back next week with probably, maybe, I don't know. We'll see what's going to happen in the last 2 episodes, because they are dropping together. But it's probably going to be a longer episode for us as well. Who knows? Yeah, until then, you can catch us on catchup.com with our articles, or you can check YouTube if we, appear in anything else we do, by the way. We did a shit ton of things, mostly watching nows. So long live the blue booty, before I forget. But also, just don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. What do you think about Agatha All Along so far? We're gonna be back soon, and that's gonna be the last time. It's so sad.
Until this group gets together and talks about something else.
Exactly. Fun times. And until then, take care, watch movies, watch TV shows, do whatever you like. It's really up to you. Mostly watch us, because we are funny. Anyway, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Wake up, Tom. We've got that intimacy coordinator next week.
Oh God! Oh no! It's gonna be like, sorry, I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting. I know. But it's dead, so it can do anything. Who knows?
Yeah. Or it could be. Because that's how it works, right?
That still would be this, by the way.
Death's little finger
I'm
bone,
sorry to disappoint, but it's still this.
He's butt stuff.
But it's in the butt. It's the upper hole.
Oh God, Death's bony hand job. No thanks.
Death's bony hand job. The fuck?